K-141 Kursk was one of the largest and most formidable submarines in the Russian Northern Fleet. A 154-meter-long steel giant, powered by 2 nuclear reactors and designed to withstand almost any battlefield scenario. It belonged to the Oscar II class, a family of submarines built to hunt and destroy U.S. aircraft carrier groups with supersonic Granite missiles. On board were 118 men, officers, sailors, engineers, and specialists. Highly trained, experienced. Many of them handpicked for Russia's most important naval exercises. On August 12, 2000, Kursk took part in the largest Russian naval drill since the fall of the Soviet Union. Its mission was simple: a simulated torpedo strike against a surface fleet formation. But the exercise never ended. 9:28 a.m. Seismologists detect a small underwater shock. Barely noticeable, yet enough to silence Kursk. No radio call, no distress signal. 9:30 a.m., a second explosion, massive, violent, equivalent to 2 to 3 tons of TNT. This one is recorded not only in Russia, but in Norway, even across the ocean in Alaska. Kursk disappears from the surface, and no one yet knows that inside, at 108 meters depth, 118 men are trapped, and 23 of them are still alive. That morning, Kursk prepared to launch a training torpedo. A routine procedure, one the crew had performed countless times before. 9:28:26 a.m. seismographs detect a small underwater explosion in the Barents Sea. Weak, barely 1.5 on the seismic scale. Just enough to indicate a malfunction or a rupture inside the forward compartment. Kursk sends no signal. Radio communication goes silent. 9:30:42 a.m. A second explosion. This time massive, equivalent to 2 to 3 tons of TNT. The blast is so strong that it is recorded in Norway, Finland, even as far as Alaska. The front sections of the submarine are torn apart. Fire, shockwave, and flooding kill most of the men instantly. Kursk loses buoyancy. The submarine plunges to the seabed, coming to rest at a depth of 108 meters. But not everyone dies. In the dark rear compartment, behind 9 watertight doors, 23 sailors survive the initial blasts. Among them, Lieutenant Dmitry Kolesnikov. Cold, darkness, rising water, and the ticking clock of oxygen slowly running out. They begin to wait for rescue. But on the surface, no one yet realizes that Kursk has sunk. After the 2 explosions, the forward compartments of Kursk were destroyed. But in the rear section, behind 9 watertight doors, 23 sailors were still alive. They moved into compartment 9, the last part of the submarine where air remained. There they wrote their final notes, including the message found in Lieutenant Dmitry Kolesnikov's uniform. 14:15. There are 23 of us here. We are in the dark. I am writing blindly. The emergency lighting flickered. Water kept rising. The temperature dropped to just above freezing. Their oxygen was running out. Meanwhile, on the surface, silence. For nearly 12 hours, the Russian Navy didn't know what had happened. Attempts to contact Kursk failed, yet officials continued to claim the submarine had merely technical communication problems. Norway and the United Kingdom offered rescue teams immediately. Their divers could have reached Kursk within hours, but Russia refused foreign assistance for 5 days, insisting it would handle the operation alone. During all this time, the 23 men below were likely still alive. Rescue ships reported metallic tapping, distinct SOS signals coming from inside the hull. But every attempt to attach the rescue capsule failed. Only after foreign help was finally accepted did divers manage to open the hatch to compartment 9. And by then, it was too late. All 23 sailors had died from hypoxia and carbon monoxide poisoning. And the official explanations still leave many questions unanswered. The official explanation from the Russian government was simple. A faulty torpedo leaked high-concentration hydrogen peroxide. The peroxide reacted with metal in the launch tube, triggering a fire, and then a second, far larger explosion in the forward compartment. This is the version released to the public, but it leaves many questions unanswered. The first alternative theory, a collision with a NATO submarine. On that day, Kursk was being closely tracked by Western vessels. Some investigators believe the American USS Memphis or USS Toledo came too close during surveillance, causing an accidental impact and withdrawing from the area after the explosion. Supporters of this theory point to unusual acoustic signatures recorded in the Barents Sea and to certain injuries found on the recovered bodies. The second theory, the test of a new Shkval supercavitating torpedo. The Shkval was one of the fastest torpedoes in the world, but early prototypes were unstable. Some experts argue that an experimental launch could have detonated inside the tube, though Russia has never released the test schedule for that day. The third theory, political cover-up. Why did Russia reject foreign rescue offers for 5 days? Why were divers' video recordings never released publicly? Why are parts of the Kursk file still classified today? Many researchers believe the official explanation was simply the least damaging one, a narrative that avoided blaming foreign submarines, failed weapons tests, or critical command errors. To this day, there is no universally accepted answer. Only explosions, 108 meters of water, and a long list of questions left behind. After the tragedy, Russia made a decision it had never attempted before. Kursk was too heavy, too large, and too deep. Yet the government ordered it to be brought back to the surface. In October 2001, with the help of Dutch engineers, a massive lifting platform raised 18,000 tons of steel from 108 meters below the Barents Sea. But the entire submarine did not return. The destroyed bow, the site of both explosions, was cut off and left on the seabed. To this day, that section remains off-limits to divers, journalists, and independent investigators. What exactly lies inside is still unknown. From the recovered sections, divers retrieved the bodies of 23 sailors, their equipment, their notes, and the final desperate attempts to survive. Some documents, audio logs, and video recordings were never released to the public. Officially, the investigation was closed. The cause declared, a technical malfunction, a torpedo failure, a tragedy, clear and unavoidable. But many experts argued the inquiry was too short, too selective, and far too convenient. Why was foreign rescue help rejected for 5 critical days? Why was the bow never recovered? Why did the divers' camera footage disappear? The Kursk disaster did not end when the submarine was raised. It ended with a long list of questions that, even 25 years later, remain buried beneath the water, and with those who know more than they ever said.